Hello, welcome to the third module of the course Economic Management and Policy Analysis. And at this module, we'll try to understand how individual firms and governments make decisions within um, the economy. And as such, we look into the microeconomic foundations of policy analysis, microeconomic foundation of policy analysis. And we will explore the core element of macroeconomics theory and the applications to real-world policy challenges. And as such, we will look into specifically the market structure when we talk about the perfect competition, the monopoly and the oligopoly. We will look at the consumer and producer behavior. We'll also look at the market failure and externalities. We will look at the public goods and government interventions. And lastly, we will look at the concept of cost-benefit analysis in policy decision. Microeconomics provides the fundamental analytical tool to understand how resources are allocated, how markets operate, and where interventions may be required to correct inefficiency. And unlike the macroeconomics, which deals with the economy as a whole, microeconomics focuses on the behavior of smaller economic units, enabling policymakers to access the direct impact of policies on household, firm, and specific markets. And that is why we'll actually look at how economic theories with real-world policy challenge can be bridged together and equipping you as a learner with the analytical skill to access how policy affects efficiency and equity, welfare in society. Let's explore the market structure that we have, And in such, we'll talk about the perfect competition. But first, the structure of a market critically determines how firms operate, how prices are set, and how resources are allocated. And these three structures are very important to look into as they are relevant to policy analysis, policy competition, monopoly, and oligopoly. A perfect competition is characterized by many small firms, identical products. They have access to free entry and exit. Also, they are price takers. And this leads to efficient resources allocation and consumption and consumers benefits, but limited innovation. So it's characterized by many small firms, and they have identical products that they sell together, they operate together in, and there is free exit and entry and exit, and they are price takers. For monopoly, it's actually a single firm with unique product and it has high barrier to entry because it's a single firm, and they are price makers. As against the perfect competition market, which talks about price takers, they are price makers, and because it's actually in the hand of just one person or one firm, and it results in higher prices and lower output, but potential for innovation. And for oligopoly, it's actually few dominant firms being found in the market, in this market structure, and it's characterized by interdependence, high barrier to entry, as like the monopoly also, and it's also characterized by strategic behavior, non-price competition, and potential for collusion. For looking broadly into it, the perfect competition, just like we said, it's large. As a feature, it encapsulates large number of buyers and sellers. It is with product, similar product, free entry and exit, and also perfect information, and they are price takers. Implication of this is that there will be efficient resources allocation, and then there will be a normal profit in the long run. Also, consumer benefits in terms of low prices and high output, and there will be limited innovation. And as such, agricultural markets like those for wheat or maize often approximate perfect competition, showcasing how numerous small producers and informed consumers drive efficiency. For the monopoly, just like it has been said, we see that it's characterized by single seller, unique product, price makers, and the implication of this is that it results in higher prices, lower outputs, and potential for innovation. And same with the oligopoly, just like I've said. And the implication for this is that it results in price rigidity, potential for collusion, and product varieties rather. And understanding this structure is essential for policymakers to prevent abuse of market power and inform decision on competition policy and regulation. Moving to another aspect, which is the consumer and producer behavior. Consumer and producer behavior. At this point, we talk about consumer and producer behavior as central to microeconomics analysis, shaping market dynamics and resource allocation. And their decision determines prices, outputs, level, and overall economic efficiency. Talking about the consumer behavior, it focuses on how individuals and households make consumption decisions based on preference, income, and prices. Based on preference, income, and prices. And consumers aim to maximize utility within their budget constraint. And for producer behavior, it actually examines how firms make decisions about production, cost, and pricing and supply. Production costs, pricing, and supply. Those four keywords are important. And producers seek to maximize profits while minimizing costs, often through marginal analysis. And the interaction between consumer, which talks about the demand, and producers, which talks about the supply, forms the foundation of market dynamics, with prices balancing these two forces. Also, another aspect is the market failure and externalities. Market failure and externalities. And at this point, we see that market failure occur when free market inefficiently allocates goods and services, leading to suboptimal outcome. And government intervention may be necessary to correct this inefficiency. Looking at the externalities, their cost or benefits affecting third party, not reflected in market prices in terms of pollution, vaccination, and some others. So these are the externalities. And looking at the public goods, these are non-excludable and non-rivalrous goods like the national defense, the street lighting, and some other ones. We also have the information asymmetry, and this is one party has more or better information, leading to adverse selection or moral hazard. And the last is the market power, and this talks about firm or individuals can influence prices as it pertains to monopolies and oligopolies. And externalities are particularly important as they directly link private decision making with social costs and benefits, often requiring corrective measures like taxes or subsidies. We can classify externalities into negative and positive externalities. For negative externalities, these are actions that impose uncompensated costs on third parties. An example of this are air pollution from factories affecting nearby residents, and the implication of negative externalities are markets overproduce goods with negative externalities because private producers ignore external costs. They actually ignore external costs. And for positive externalities, these actions create benefit for third parties not captured by the market. An example of this are vaccination programs, which reduces diseases, spread of disease in the society. And the implication of this is that markets underproduce goods with positive externalities because private actors cannot capture the full benefits. And corrective measures like taxes on pollution or subsidies for education help align private incentive with social welfare. Looking at the public goods and government intervention, public goods are non-rivalrous, which is competition and consumption by one doesn't reduce availability by others, and non-excludable, which means difficult to prevent access. And this leads to the free rider problem and underproduction by market, necessitating government intervention. And when we talk about public goods and government intervention, we look into the provision of public goods, and you see that government finance and provide public goods directly through taxation. And this example of this is national defense, the highways. These are the goods that are produced by the government or financed by the government. We also have the regulation and legislation. The government established rules to protect shared resources and correct negative spillover. And these include the environmental regulations. And we also have the taxation and resource mobilization, where taxes pool resources to fund public goods, overcoming the free rider problem. Taxes are put together to fund public goods. And lastly, we have the public-private partnership. And for this, we talk about collaboration with private entities to deliver public goods, balancing efficiency and accessibility. And intervention ensures socially desirable goods are produced, improving welfare and equity. Talking on the last aspect of our discussion on this module, we'll be looking at cost-benefit analysis. Cost-benefit analysis, and what does this actually mean? It is an essential tool for evaluating the economic viability and social desirability of government projects or policies, and it systematically compares expected costs with anticipated benefits to inform evidence-based decision that maximizes social welfare. It systematically compares expected costs with anticipated benefits to inform evidence-based decision that maximizes social welfare. And as such, when we talk about this, we need to identify cost and benefits, and these include direct expenditure, opportunity cost and externalities, and also you need to quantify and value. You need to quantify and value in doing the cost-benefit analysis. You quantify and value, and as such, you express both in monetary term. Use shadow pricing for intangible, and also the third is that you ensuring discount future value, discount yield future value, that is converting future cost or benefits to present value for comparability. Also, in performing the cost benefit analysis, you also calculate the NPV. And when we talk about the NPV, it is equal to present value of benefit minus present value of cost, and a positive NPV indicates justification. And also in doing the cost benefits analysis. You have also can perform sensitivity analysis, which tests how results change with varied assumptions to reduce risk. And despite the limitations in valuing intangibles, CBA remains crucial for ensuring policy generates maximum social welfare and minimum resources waste. In conclusion, the Microeconomics Foundation of Policy Analysis provide the analytical framework for understanding how individual, firm, and government interact in the market and how this interaction shape economic outcome. And we've been able to look at public goods and externalities. We've also been able to look at cost-benefit analysis also. And altogether, microeconomics analysis bridges theory with real-world challenges, ensuring that policy are evidence-based, equitable, and capable of promoting sustainable development. Thank you.